All right, so the Honda Civic Type R 2024, if you want one new, you're looking at a cost starting at around $46,000. Now, I'm starting to unfortunately just accept the fact that the entire car market is totally messed up, but you do get a decent amount for that price. I mean, this interior will exceed your expectations. I have this thing put back because we're gonna really push this car. I don't want my stuff flying everywhere. You get adjustable drive modes. So if we jump over here, you can customize a lot of different stuff. Your engine, your steering, suspension, engine sound, rev match, and your gauge cluster. Or you can just jump straight to R mode and that'll put everything in basically race mode. Now, I don't notice a huge difference between the modes, but you know, I definitely, the one big one is the sound you get from the front. And guys, this turbo sounds good. You can really hear it when you let off the throttle and you go to shift. It is pretty awesome. And what do you guys think about the exterior of this car? You know, the last one, I mean, you could argue that one looked better. This one just got cleaned up quite a bit. And I mean, I like the old one better. It just looked much more race car kind of style. The back end of this one though, I think I like the back end of this one more, but the front end of the old one a lot more. That's definitely undeniable. You know, it's a Civic on steroids, and I'll show you exactly why that is. This car, sure, you just mentioned that it makes 315 horsepower, which may not sound like a lot, but this car is fast. There's a lot of jokes that go around about VTEC, oh, meh. But seriously, don't roast this car until you get in the driver's seat and you actually experience how much fun this car can be. Oh, it sounds really good too. You get shift lights as well. Now, this is a front wheel drive car. And if I may say, there's a big pro and con to that. When you are flooring it around a turn, or really just flooring it at all, it feels just uncontrollable. However, because this only makes 310 horsepower, I'm also gonna put that as a good thing, because when the car is like, it feels a little bit uncontrollable, that makes it a lot more fun and feel faster than it actually is. Now, this car is fast. Again, it can move. It does 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. But you know, normally I've driven, you know, a lot faster cars than this, and there's something about the front wheel drive that just makes it like spasmodic, if that's the right word to say. You're kind of all over the place when you're at 6,000 RPM in second gear and you're flooring it, which is actually a good thing, I suppose. This one is just a great raw driving experience. And to talk about this manual transmission, it is so friendly. Like, if I were just learning manual, this would be one I would love to hop in for the first time and learn on. It feels like it has your back. I absolutely love it. Downshift, and we're gone. And speaking of which, we just had to use those brakes. You get big 4-piston, or is it 6? I'll put it on the screen. You get big Brembo brakes in the front, not in the back. You just get regular iron brakes in the back. But that is awesome to see Brembos on a Civic. Oh my gosh. In the manual, it just completes the entire package. It is an absolutely awesome car to drive. Like that right there, going into that turn and hitting the gas, it feels like the front end is like sucking you in. Now, you know, this is my first time ever driving, or pushing rather, driving hard in a front wheel drive car. So it's just something I'm personally not familiar with. And if you're not either, it's gonna feel very weird. Most car people will say all-wheel drive's the best, rear-wheel drive's the second best, and then front-wheel drive is kind of the worst. Like the steering wheel, it sucks you into different places. It's wild. And how about the exhaust note? I mean, yeah, it's all subjective. It's a 4-cylinder, right? There's nothing you can do about that. But if you really don't care, you don't need a V8 sound, this thing is, it is fun to listen to. I'm not gonna lie. And the exhaust tips just look really, really good as well. All right, let's go ahead and push this thing. Let's go to fifth. I'll downshift to second and then we'll take off. Ready? That is good. It is so much fun to do that. All right, let's do a hard brake test at 60 and see what this thing can do. Ready, set, go. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It actually stopped so fast that the speedometer didn't, it was still reading that we were moving even though we weren't. That's awesome. Let's corner it. Yeah, you can most certainly corner this thing, but again, it's just that front wheel drive. It's just, I mean, again, it could be just because I don't have a whole lot of experience with front wheel drive, but it's just weird. It's very, very weird from driving any other car, taking it into a corner. Yeah, it can do it. It can definitely do it. Oh, big bump, big bump. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, the suspension is very, very bumpy. Like when you hit a bump, you're like, it almost feels like you catch air for a second. And let's throw it into reverse. You get a nice little backup camera. You can see the factory black stick option sticking up back there. That is just my camera for the back. And off we go. It's so funny, all of those VTEC jokes, like you realize that they're actually, like they say that for a reason. As soon as you hit 5,000 roughly RPM in this thing, it starts to genuinely move. It feels like you gain 100 horsepower as soon as you hit 5,000. It's very strange. Yeah, it is a very refreshing experience to drive this. And with 315 horsepower, yeah, you're not really beating anybody in races, but this is a car for you. You go out, you enjoy your time on some back roads, running through those gears, listening to a pretty decent exhaust. And if you want this to be a daily driver, you get 4 doors, you get a very, very comfortable ride. Here we are on this, this bridge here. Comfort, all right. Yeah, I mean, it's still bumpy. I felt a little bit better. Mind you, I was going a bit slower over at that time. But that, yeah, there's a bit of a difference. Just, I never notice a huge difference with selectable drive modes in most cars. Yeah, I mean, this is a cornering weapon. You can fly in corners. I just got done reviewing the Dodge Charger Scat Pack and the Shelby GT500. This thing is like basically a go-kart compared to those two cars. This is really, really, really just a driver's experience. It's not a racing car for like drag strips or on the interstate. It's just to go out on roads like these and have an absolute blast doing it. And I mean, they have done a really good job with this interior. Just the cool designs that you get, this nice little infotainment system. You get nice red stitching on here. The exterior, again, it looks pretty good. This digital gauge cluster, which is kind of customizable just depending on which drive mode you're in. Well, not customizable, it'll just change depending on the drive mode that you're in. Let's do a first gear. Ready? It feels like a video game. You run through the gears, you hear the thing beep, you shift, you keep going, you get that race car sound behind you. I mean, oh, yeah, this is a great, great car to drive. Ready, set, go. All right, we got a big corner here. We're going in pretty hot. Yep. It is very, very, very easy for this car. This is amazing. It reminds me of the Porsche Cayman and the BMW Z4 that we reviewed. This is literally what the car was made for. Not for straight line racing, but for this exact purpose. Yeah, non-stop, you just get that steering wheel wiggle. Like, you hit the gas, as soon as your tires in the front turn a little bit, it's putting that power down in that direction that the tires are turned, and it just kind of sucks you in, left, right, left, right, left, right. So again, for a lower horsepower car, I mean, 310 is still pretty decent. People are brainwashed with numbers these days. I've had people call some of the cars that I've driven slow, like the C7 Corvette. It's like, are you out of your mind? Like, how much money do you have to call a $50,000 sports car slow? So 310 is still good, but just combined with that kind of uneasiness that you feel with the putting the power down, it makes it feel a lot faster than it likely is. Second gear. Absolutely awesome. So for $48,000, you get I mean, the back end is where it's at of this car. The front end, meh, but you get a really, really nice back end. You get an okay front end. You get a genuinely fantastic interior. Like this is absolutely a $50,000 interior. I will say that. Performance, you can get a lot faster cars for $45,000, $50,000, but is it always about how fast you can go? You know, keyboard warriors make it seem that way, but it's not. Are you having fun while driving? And yes, in today's car market, when you look at other prices with how absurd things are today, this will give you $45,000 of fun. So, okay, we haven't even touched on the best part. This car will never break. It has a reliability rating of 82 out of 100. This thing will last you a lifetime. Even if you do go crazy and abuse this thing, you got the Japanese engine. So, actually, yeah, that really makes this sound like a deal for 45. Because, like, my Mustang EcoBoost makes the same exact power numbers as this. But you don't get the manual. Well, you can get a manual in an EcoBoost. You don't get this phenomenal interior, and most importantly, you do not get that reliability nor the fantastic sound that this one produces from the factory. Plus, yeah, design-wise, that's just all subjective. A Mustang is probably going to break more necks than this. This is still a good-looking car. So, would you buy this for $45,000? That is the ultimate question. I think if you're somebody that just likes to have fun, you don't care about how fast you can go or people saying your car is slow, screw those people, they're broke and don't have cars anyway. I mean, I'm broke and I don't have really any cool cars, but at least I don't say that. So, yes, you should buy this car if you're somebody that just likes to have fun, because this thing will actually give you all of it, and you can use the speed on roads. That's the big thing. You can wring this car out and not worry about getting sent to jail. I mean, you can still go to jail on this thing, but not as easily as other cars. So that'll wrap this up. Make sure you guys check out the other reviews on the channel as well. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!